Hello, everyone. I am Murtaza Masood, the Global Managing Director for State and Local Government at Box. And with me today, I have Vikram Yadav, Chief Information Officer of LA City Employee Retirement System. Hello, Vikram. How are you today?
Hi, good afternoon, Murtaza. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for making time. Always a pleasure chatting with you. Today, we're going to be talking about the increasing requirements that government and private organizations are facing in terms of privacy requirements and compliance with those emerging regulations. Recently, we have seen the CPRA go into effect, and then other states are following suit pretty closely. So, Vikram, from your perspective, if you don't mind introducing Lacers and your role there, and then we'll go right into some of the compliance requirements that you're anticipating.
Sure, my pleasure. So my name is Vikram Jadhav. I'm the CIO for Lacers. We manage the pension and benefits for all City of LA employees. Currently we host about a $27 billion fund that carries our members into retirement, as well as all of their health and dental benefits. So we deal in HIPAA-related information all day long. And so privacy and security is a top-level kind of focus on our end of how we maintain that safety and security of our members and ensure that there are no disruptions to their receiving of benefits. Because as you can imagine, at advanced ages and for the retirement population, the topic of security doesn't become any more important than when you are waiting on your check to be able to survive through the year.
Definitely, and a very important safety net for a lot of your members. How long have you been using Box, and what are some of the key aspects of your organizations and operation that Box is enabling for you?
Box then became kind of the foundation of what we built our entire system off of. And so as we're having a privacy kind of conversation today, what it allowed us to do was, in some regard, shortcut the amount of due diligence we had to do on our end in vetting vendors, because we knew, given Box's standards, that any product that gets integrated into Box already has a certain level and degree of prestige attached to it, which as a buyer gave us comfort to be able to scaffold on top of the Box foundation. And so there's kind of two parts to this question, right? There's one of what Box has enabled us, and then how we've pivoted our operations around some of the key feature sets within Box, and then how that kind of then downstream allows us to create more secure kind of handling of all of our, not only operational information, but as well as our member information, which is of the utmost kind of highest value there. And so before, everything was just held on local drives, everything was held inside of email. And as you know, that's not always the best way to manage your information. And so we had to kind of rejigger a lot of systems to be able to make sure that data is hosted appropriately inside of Box, and that we're using Box links to share, permission controls, things of that sort. We use a variety of different platforms for project management to kind of learning management systems and whatnot. And part of our policy then is we hold everything inside of Box and share those links out. So where we may have had like triplicates of information, we can get that down to one true kind of source file that we then share links, and we can control those links. And so there's, and I may be putting the cart in front of the horse in terms of the question and what we're discussing here today. But when we think about kind of freedom of information and public kind of records requests, and ultimately down to CPRA, there's a thing of where is that information held, and how quickly do we get it back out to people who are requesting it, and how do we kind of establish the controls around that information. And one of the things that Box has enabled us to do is be able to have a central kind of file, a central repository for this information that could be searched and pulled out easily, while also kind of knowing that we're behind a system that is Fed and state ramp and certified. So there's a lot of huge boons for us in terms of being able to maintain the privacy of the information that we store with us.
I'm always amazed that once you have the right digital ecosystem with the right security and compliance built in, you're able to transform and reimagine how work was getting done across the entire organization. So thank you
Oh,
for the
100%.
insight.
Yeah.
So building on the topic you touched upon, uh, the crux of your, or the core of your applications contains PII, HIPAA intensive information and documents, right?
Mhm.
So how do you see CPRA affecting your decision making as CIO of Lacers when you decide who to work with and how to deploy new applications or new platforms?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it goes back to kind of what what I brought up a little bit earlier is if a company's not already in the sandbox, we generally don't play with them. And so what we're looking for in vendors are groups that we can API hook into our Box applications, or who already have established relationships within Box. And so that's become a bit of a shorthand. Additionally, though, there's various kind of systems that we may have to use for ad hoc purposes that don't connect into Box and don't need to connect into Box. And so in regards to that, we recently undergone 2 cyber audits this past year. And one of those things that we've been looking at building out is our kind of policies and procedures around vendor checklists and auditing of vendors on a yearly basis to ensure that they're maintaining the security compliance kind of restrictions that we would need to feel comfortable with. And so part of our approach here is, one, to make sure that we're playing with other organizations, other companies whose products are already kind of come pre-vetted inside of the Box ecosystem, which saves us a lot of time and effort. And then 2, kind of following along with a lot of what we look for in kind of FedRAMP and state RAMP certified organizations. How much of those kind of qualifications are they meeting, right? And so how are they kind of packaging their data? Where are they storing? Where are their servers located? Things of that sort. And so we're beginning to roll out this process now so that we don't kind of invite people in whose systems may be a bit kind of lacking structure on the back end. Now, there's it's a two-edged kind of sword here, right? A double-sided coin, whatever the analogy is, because there's a price point consideration here, right? Typically, we've had to go now up market quite a bit with our products, where before, when we were running an analog operation, it was kind of easier to find smaller vendors that can meet our kind of product demands without a lot of thought behind what was behind how their systems were built. But given the changing environment with kind of cyber issues happening all globally, fraud issues happening globally, and then just from information being finding its way and leaking out, we've recognized and reconciled that we do need to go kind of up market, and we do need to find companies that are building their products in the right way. Another case in point is we were just about to onboard the SVB bank closure. Kind of hit their interest hard, so I backed away from it a little bit. But we were going to be using them for some knowledge transfer work, and they had a great platform, and they had all the certifications that you can kind of rely on and trust for that you'd want to bring into your own shop. But I think when it goes back to kind of that vendor kind of assessment, what we're really looking at it is from the lens of how well does it play into the Box ecosystem? Can it integrate into, and can it be leveraged by our users within the same kind of platform? And then if it can, great. And so again, that offloads a lot of work on our end in terms of having to individually vet vendors, because the people that are already thinking through how do we engage with a lot of the other large content management systems, that just bodes well in terms of what, for a buyer like myself, what I'd be interested in looking for.
That is an interesting point, expecting that not just enterprise grade feature parity and interconnectivity between your applications and platforms, but also ensuring that they are complying with the right and continue to do so with the right security and privacy requirements. Vikram, with that, I would like to thank you for your time today. Really enjoyed our conversation. And for our viewers, if you would like to find out more on how Box is helping Lacers and other government agencies meet and exceed some of these challenges, visit our government webpage on box.com/government. Thank you.
Thank you.